finally see if the Turkish teams can usurp this G2 Gozen squad into the pistol round right off the bat. Sarah picks up 2 there in A main, and now FUT whittled down to just 3 players, and Julius already extremely low.
Yeah, that angle being held by Sarah, the power position sets her up for success truly there. Like you mentioned, Julius as well, low. Still though, both the duelists available for the side of FUT. G2 Petra and Mimi though, they're both able to push in as both of them rush forward. Smurfette kind of falling back to maybe watch for a push coming in the doors. Exactly, the flank and the doors push as well.
This is scary. Smurfette's all alone.
Sarah finding the trade here 1-for-1, and now this complete flank pressure is coming in. Sarah with the second to boot. Showstopper ready to go off the back of that crucial kill, denying the plants and finding the kill to boot. Now just 2 players on site, Lyda and Ness. What more can they really do here? Trying to do the damage, but Mimi with the Sheriff will chime in, making her opinion very, very clear. And now Ness in a 1v3 to deny the bonus victory for G2, trying to isolate these angles and find these fights. Taps the spike for a little bit of additional pandemonium. But that first point of contact, G2, they're just not giving it to her, trying to make this as difficult as possible here. And Ness just able to find that first kill after catching that silhouette of a shoulder there. Now a 1v2, the clock ticking, 20 seconds left for Ness. And she is doing the best she can, finally able to stick that spike out. Has the Haunt back online as well. It's a possibility of a little bit of information coming in. Isolates the duel, takes down Petra, and now a 1v1. Only a Sheriff in Mimi's hand to try and clutch this out. They know exactly where the other player is. Ness finds the reload and finds the clutch and the kill. The presence is towards spawn and A, but now FUT, they're going for the rotate. I do believe G2 can hear all of this sound coming in. The shot goes wide, and it's just going to be a 1-for-1 trade. Sarah, that's really trying to buy as much more stalling power as possible. Puts down the paint shells. Still a 4v4. Oh god. Petra takes the zipline, finds the kill, and also takes the spike control into her own hands. With 12 seconds left, all she has to do is buy a little bit more time here. Roxy and Sarah between them just swooping in for these kills, and Smurfette, yeah, they're just not afraid at all to push out. Now the Smurfette putting the fear of that Turkish jet into them as she slices and dices up towards this dish area. 2 openers, huge openers, to try and get her team on the site here, and they do manage to follow up. She still does have the Blade Storm available as well, looking for a little bit more. Now the overdrive coming into play, but Smurfette gets taken out, so that's a huge kill. At least, and now it's a 3v1 situation, my bad. Still, Smurfette has the utility to work with, but Roxy just needs 1 kill for that lockdown.
That's true. Drops pretty good position to be able to get that out as well if she can isolate that one.
Look at the position though already. You have Neon headed towards that spawn area, really trying to set up that crossfire potential. And these both the players does play initiator and basically feels like she's just training to be a duelist here. But sometimes you have those overheat moments, and Petra is more than ready for the punish. At least Dati though able to find a trade onto Sarah there, so still gonna be 1 for the price of 1. But for G2 at least, they have the potential of just snowballing these ultimates already. You can see Mimi ready with that Rolling Thunder, able to combo that with that Orbital Strike, and it's gonna really try to deny the plant, but Petra gets a little bit too eager, pushes on forward, and Julius just shuts her down here. Oh, but Roxy has the spike. Oh my, kills coming through across the board from either side. Now the lockdown gonna be forced out of Roxy as that Orbital Strike comes through, not quite connecting though. Mimi just trying to isolate these fights, only able to win that first one though, and Sheriff in hand. It's gonna be Julius in that clutch potential.
Time.
The clock is ticking, has to find the kill before the lockdown. Talking about stall though, nothing seems to be working to try and stop Smurfette from doing her thing.
Dude,
already through the smoke, able to find an insane opener onto Mimi. That's just illegal at this point. A second one to boot onto Petra. Any kind of damage that she's taken doesn't stop her at all. And now G2, they're at a 2-person disadvantage, and Glance looking for that wraparound already. The positioning there from both of these players on FUT to try and stop it. Finally, the trades go in favor of G2 though. Now it's going to be these 2 players against what remains of FUT, trying to kind of hold in that crossfire position, but both of them are quite low here. Smurfette still able to find that opener. With that kill, G2, they've established dominance towards that A main area, and they're just in full control. Now FUT's forced to make a move towards this B side instead.
Oh, the coordination is looking so good, but clearing out Roxy here is going to be a pain. It's going to be tough to get that tower control.
I like that FUT, they are aware of the judge possibility, so they're just trying to take fights elsewhere on the map, but this time around Mimi is more than ready for it. Just prepared, and Roxy, you brought it up, Ash, with that judge, just impossible to take out.
Situations, kind of waiting to see if they'll walk into their crosshairs.
This time around, though, it's Lyda who's able to find that huge opener onto Sarah here. Rolling Thunder forced out of Mimi to try and push this player back, surrounded on every single side. Petra finds that kill and finds the trade for her fallen comrade. Still, though, Smurfette with the Blade Storm, we've seen the kind of impact that she can have in the past, but Petra puts a stop to it, just walks up and takes out, finding that kill. At least Julius, though, with that orbital strike, able to cut her off from the rest of the team, bringing things back down to a 3v3.
A nice positioning from Mimi. She's already here. Is she Pete? Could have maybe spotted one of the players. But look at this creep up now. Dati playing a closer quartered angle, playing for that information.
Glance just lying in wait for her, but Dati's still able to get a huge opener. Mimi still finds the trade, though, and with that lockdown coming into play, both of these players, they have to run for their life, and they were aware of the lockdown's potential as well, because look at where the spike plant is. Mimi going for the defuse, already able to take half of it. Ness, she has to check this, but it's going to be a little bit too late. That Rolling Thunder comes in, but it is too late. Mimi Glance here, not the greatest economy for a FUT, though. They're still able to scavenge together a buy. Ness a couple away from her own Nightfall, but aside from that, they're just going for that hot and heavy hit that has favored them in the past before. This time, though, it's going to be put to a stop. Already Roxy finding a huge opener with the Judge, still going to be online towards that towers area, just lying in wait for whoever else walks into her path, and she fires off a couple of warning shots. Surfer not able to work her usual magic, and now onside Dati just going to be surrounded. Sarah Satchel,
quite a different approach, but already out.
That turret, though, it's going to play spoil sport to Lyda's push forward. Now it's going to be G2 persevering on this dish side. Three players just running it down here, trying to take them out. But Julius still able to find that opener. Gets a second as well. On the hunt for a third now. But instead will choose to fall back now that the numbers game has swung firmly in FUT's favor. G2 only having two players remaining right now. Petra looking for a little bit of something here.
I feel like
might be able to...
tag.
Yeah, might find the flank, and the awareness is there from FUT, but not the shots, unfortunately. And Petra, she might be able to get a couple of these kills. The flash, kind of a fake play here, and Mimi able to find the timing. Now just crunching these remaining players on the FUT side, on the side. But Lyda, she gets a 1v.
If granted.
Does have that fault line to work with, so we'll be able to maybe find an early opener, especially considering how low Smurfette is. But so far, at least, she's being very, very cautious. Not quite able to connect the shot to be able to win out the 1v3. Now, though, it's Petra who's trying to take that contact towards that A site. Lyda having pushed up on the opposite side of the map, trying to hold off G2's aggression here. Does take down Roxy, in fact, and is able to get away scot-free. Great start for this bonus round for the side of FUT, and with that rifle in hand, she's still looking for more here. Not quite able to connect the shots, but still ticking. Julius there for the backup, finds both of the kills on the Sheriff, and that's huge for FUT's side. Now just two left for G2.
This is the bonus round here for FUT as well. We can't keep that. We have to keep that in mind.
Oh, that whiff is going to be something that Petra might feel dearly for later on. Dati just able to push up and confirm the kill. Mimi, though, to 1v3, able to find the first two already. Beautiful spray transfer. Still two left to go for, though. And with that Rolling Thunder in hand.
First point of contact.
Oh, the turret does spot out Lyda, but still able to connect a beautiful shot onto Roxy. With that turret going down, once again, G2, they're going to be just open to the possibility of flank, so they're going to be going for the full commit instead on this particular side, and already on the flank, Smurfette on the way. He sees the stim beacon, so we'll be aware of the position possibly coming out of Glance, but Glance still, again, with that hyper awareness of the flank, will be able to get a shot. Now, a 4v4 situation, orbital strike invested, I believe, by the side of G2 to get a, FUT to get a little bit more space.
Ness is flanking this again. This time actually catches Glance out, and for this retake situation, Lyda at the very least does have that overdrive available here.
Gonna be seeing it committed as well, just tearing to Petra. Now two remaining players here for the side of FUT, for the side of G2, sorry. Sarah, though, still, despite being concussed, will get the headshot, and will have further utility to buy some delaying time. Dati now going to have to go for the defuse. Ness does take down this player, but the defuse is being stuck all the way. Mimi in a 1v2 isn't aware of it, and the defuse plant potential also taken offline early on, and this is one of G2's buy rounds. It's not like they're ecoing now, though, finally going in for the commit here. Seekers come out of Petra to try and smoke out these positions of FUT, but both of the players on FUT side, they're playing together, and instead opting to still hold it down, and that's going to force the lockdown out of Roxy to boot. Just like that, Smurfette able to swing out and finds the timing. That's the first kill once again on the side take coming in for FUT.
And FUT, they have this B main control right now in towards tree. Mimi knows she has to go for something early here.
Smurfette, though, Smurfette and Mimi both not quite connecting their shots. Ness at least able to find a trade here, but still, it's just there for G2. The numbers game here. Mimi and Sarah now in position to make their job happen. The showstopper comes out, but Julius denies it, brings things down to a 1v2 here. Once again, there's the potential of the spike being stuck in, but Mimi tries. They have the weaponry as well to work with. Sarah though able to find an opener onto Lyda there, but Ness strikes back. Finally, Roxy will take her down, so at least G2 they're able to keep these numbers even. But Glance is so low here, and with Petra having gone down, there's not gonna be any kind of healing or sustain coming in from that overgrowth. G2 now forced to fall back here. They still have that orbital strike on Glance at least.
A map that we haven't seen G2 on too frequently. They looked a little bit shaky. Yeah, Glance is done for.
Oh no. Does pull out her knife, so at least Lance might be able to find that first one here, but gets a little bit of a whiff onto Smurfette, and Smurfette is quick to find the punish. Once again, no more post-plan util gonna be available here for G2. Roxy and Mimi now, the only hopes left alive for G2 to try and deny this match point to their opponents. Smurfette once again gonna be leading the charge down here. Threat causing a little bit of annoyance, able to isolate the duel. Mimi will find that first kill, and Roxy takes the second. Now it's just gonna be Julius versus Mimi, and Mimi definitely feeling the momentum. So Mimi winning that round there is also good for just G2's morale. Now Petra trying to take a fight here, does succeed, finds two before going down, and that's massive impact. Sarah looking for a little bit more, having pushed through in that opposite side. Ness spotting out a player though, gets the wall bang, takes down Roxy, not ready for Sarah's presence. And because of Sarah's playthrough dish, at least G2 they're able to get a plant.
All playing into A main. Rolling Thunder and Orbital Strike here for the post plant. FUT have to be aware, and in this round at the very least, they want to be able to bait out one of them. That's the main goal, is more so just getting one of these ults out of the way rather than actually winning it, I think.
First Molly comes out from Julius, and you can see Smurfette trying to push through and make a play. Unfortunately, though, not quite able to connect. The second piece of utility comes in as well, and there's just not going to be enough time, especially with the smoke fading, for the defuse to possibly come through. The paint shells as well. There's just so much that G2 have in their arsenal, and Julius, she understands. She can't do anything more here coming from the G2 side. And once again, they seem to be kind of sticking together, except for Sarah, who's gone towards stands. Early Rolling Thunder, though, going to be forced out of FUT and making G2 commit their counter. Orbital Strike as well for that area, but not going to really connect with any of the players here because FUT, they're just playing on the other side. And with that Orbital Strike being taken out of play, Postplan looks a little bit more threatening. Smurfette misses her knives, unfortunately, and Sarah able to find the punish on so many players. 3 kills already on the round. It's been a bit of a... So close to it. Smurfette with the upper angle, not able to find the shot, and Lyda just not ready for that push coming out of Sarah. Checks the corner, finds the kill, and now Smurfette trying to make up for that, but again, just not able to find the upper hand in these fights. Will be forced back. In the meantime, on the opposite side, Petra just walking up with Roxy, trying to isolate these players on the site, keeping them from rotating through, because Smurfette has proven to walk into their clutches before, and that's going to be that first point of contact. Roxy more than ready for it. Between them, Roxy and Petra, they take down both these players, and suddenly FUT, once again, they're at a standstill.
Everyone looking to regroup and play together here on A as well, right? Julius, at least good for one, has an Orbital Strike for that tap FUT. Opportunity to delay a little bit further.
Only going to be coming out from Julius. Spam attempt as well, forcing Mimi to kind of plan for long here. And Julius is willing to commit this Orbital Strike, willing to try and play out this 2v4. And while it does quite a bit of damage, it's not able to find the kill. Sarah will be the one to take Julius down, and it's just going to be Ness in this 1v4. We've seen her do some insane things before, clutch out a 1v3, but with the clock ticking and the positioning being held by this G2 squad, it might be a little bit more to ask for. None of them are quite looking at her, though, so if she can catch one of them in the open, it's going to be a good way to at least start things off. But she's going a little bit too slow here, as she has to get onto site quickly, at least able to find that first one onto Sarah, but it's going to be difficult for her to get any more utility going here. Now, though, they finally look to get aggressive onto side. Sarah, again, being that opener, satcheling through, but this time around, the push from FUT, it's going to find 2 kills, taking down G2 squad, and they retain control of A main. Sarah finds the trades, though, still going to be a 3v3, and with Smurfette coming around on the flank, this is going to be huge. She takes down Mimi. That's the kill that FUT desperately need to push this to overtime, and Sarah and Glance, they're the only 2 left alive here, still in control of the spike. It hasn't gone down. They have time to work with, but they're surrounded on all sides by enemies here.
So low.
Yeah, exactly. They look to isolate this fight, trying to take the 2v1. Dati in the corner might not be ready for it, and Sarah takes her down.
Everyone's disconnected on FUT in this situation. G2, the only ones to be sticking together. FUT finally regroup. The healthy 2 players playing towards that A side, just waiting for that spike to be planted before pulling trigger on any sort of rotation. Sarah still has the boombot available alongside the paint shells for that delay. And then you've also got another incendiary. FUT, they do have cover for days with both smokes coming from Julius and Smurfette. But we've seen what this post plant from G2 can do. Both playing in towards tower makes it a very easy funnel into that default cubby plant to just throw that util and buy your time.
Seems like FUT, they're aware of their opponent's tendencies as well. The first molly comes out here from Glance. They know at least where this brimstone is, so that's going to buy a little bit of time. Up close and personal, it might be the shorty to come through, but it doesn't really connect. In fact, it's going to be Sarah's paint shells to find the frag as Smurfette's not able to get away in time. And now in this 1v2 situation, it's just Julius, and she comes through on top. She finds... Yes! Oh my god. First overtime round here. Once again, you have Roxy kind of just playing the tower power position. This time around, there's going to be some utility that she has to deal with, but Roxy, she's not distracted. Just finds the timing on the swing here and takes down 2 of FUT. Especially considering that both of your initiators are down, it's gonna be so much more difficult to set Smurfette up for these fights. And without that, Glance and Roxy, they just have 3 aim duels here, able to find so much damage. Lockdown already online. Our dish play that has worked out well for G2 in the past. But though they've expected it, going for these fights here towards main. They spot out Petra, they take her out, but Roxy's still gonna be the distraction, buying time for Sarah to come in. But Smurfette, this time around, she's not gonna be caught in the open. Advantage still in favor of FUT here, as the numbers keep in their favor.
Spike planted.
Spike planted. Mimi going for that early engagement, turning it into a 2v2 to equalize. 2 flashes though available for Dati on this retake, aftershock to zone, and then you've also got those relay bolts to play with here for Lyda.
The problem though is this angle being held by Glance. It's just proven to be so dangerous in the past year. She chooses to put out the molly and still gets the kill despite being caught by that relay boat. Now orbital strike online. Dati gonna be delayed even further here, even as that aftershock comes in. And G2, they've done it. They've come back the clock. It might have just ticked too far. Dati gonna need an absolute miracle here, especially with how split G2 are playing, and G2 working for them in the past, but G2's comp, right? We've seen how strong it can be before already. The hunt is on here. Smurfette this time enabled by that double initiator combo, able to find that first blood. And while Sarah tries to regroup on that B side, it's gonna be Lyda finding a kill and falling back again, just maintaining this numbers advantage for FUT. And G2, my god, they're on a chase here.
Julius is alone. Got a turret to watch for back at the very least, but just gonna try and find one. Isolations are looking really good so far. Petra around the corner, though, not gonna let too much more happen here. So G2, they find themselves as A side, a bit of a refresh with the regrowth at the very least, but FUT still have numbers.
Petra takes down Lyda here. 1-for-1 trade. Glance finding another one as well. So both the remaining players, it's going to be a 2v2 and everybody's looking fairly healthy. Ness does have that sheriff in hand though. Knows the position of these players thanks to that reveal coming in. Glance still trying to find that fight, but Roxy isolates the duel here. Catches Ness off guard, and that's going to be a huge start for G2. Now able to just hold down this crossfire turret. Still a point of contact as well to deal with. And Dati, the clock is slowly but surely ticking. She tries to advance to this position, spots out Ness here, but Roxy's right next to her, able to find that first kill with the help of the right click. The spike, though, it's going to be planted on top here, and it does seem like Glance should be able to buy enough time. Dati fakes the tap, but she doesn't really have the time to do it, unfortunately. It's going to be the pistol coming in for G2. Gozen. Only going to be 30 seconds left, so they finally attempt to go inside, and there's already a cavalry here, of course, the Odin from Ness towards that back corner. Sarah, though, able to find those 2 huge openers onto both Lyda and Ness, and Smurfette goes out as well. Sarah, this is Sarah time, and she finding those 3 kills will make this bonus round a sudden, extremely likely reality for G2, as the 2v4 retake, it's going to be extremely difficult. Atomic buffer, but also gameplay-wise. Talking about clearing though, it's going to be Smurfette in that battle charge, able to isolate that first fight, but not able to get the kill. Now Dati, along with her teammate, looking for a little bit more, and Dati going huge here. 3 kills already for the breach, and that's going to give her the Rolling Thunder, set her up for success online. Now 2 players left alive for G2. The Seekers, they've been invested by Petra, but they found no value here, Ash, because in a 2v4, right, especially with the players being spaced so far apart, there's just not much Petra can really do with information.
No, she's gonna have to regroup here with Sarah. And when it comes down to picking the spike back up, of course, but not looking to contest, it's a little too deep to overextend into. Ness has a very forward jump peak spot though, and she's gonna fall right back to be able to play her life. This forces that guiding light out from Petra. Still a trailblazer to play with, and the entire kit here for Sarah.
Ness trying to be that anchor onto site. Recon forced out early to see if G2 are pushing or not. With 30 seconds left, they do have to go here. And there's not going to be much utility left apart from that Trailblazer that you did bring up, Sarah. They're going through the door, looking for that first point of contact. Petra finds one, but it's just going to be her before she goes down. Now a 1v3 for Sarah. The paranoia. Now G2 gonna be a little bit slowed down, well, by their standards anyway, because Mimi is gonna be on the operator. But once that spike goes down, she's just gonna position herself to be that immovable object. And G2, they don't even need to burn that showstopper to get onto site here. And they're not going to have a chance to either because Smurfette, she finds the timing and the kill onto Sarah. Now G2 looking to set up for that post plant. Kind of going to be stuck onto site here. You do see Lyda TPing over as well for some additional information. And it's going to be the Rolling Thunder to strike Glance unless setting Smurfette up for the kill. Numbers advantage still in favor of FUT. Even as Mimi does her job here with that operator. Petra and Mimi between them, neutralizing that advantage, bringing it back to their sides. Roxy chiming in as well. And now it's just going to be Julius in a 1v3. How quickly the round has fallen apart for FUT. And with the positioning that the remainder of the G2 squad are holding, the utility coming in as well, there's just no chance here. She's just gonna have to try and save, but already Petra on the hunt here, wanting to deny even that minute victory in this loss here.
We'll Sarah, she does have that showstopper as well to follow up on these Seekers.
So G2, they have all of their ults here. Sarah already looking to push in. Not going to be willing to invest that showstopper. In fact, going to be pushing this lockdown. And with the help of that paranoia, she finds both of those kills. Finally ends up going to Julius's Molly. But that lockdown, it's still going to be forced to get respected here by G2. But it came at such a heavy price. They just go over to that C site.
Which is left completely free because Julius gets taken down early, right? And now you don't have that KJ util stall. Mimi.
Oh, no. They try to go through this wall here, but G2, they're more than ready for it. The numbers advantage just a little bit too much. I swear that was a wallbang shot already doing quite a bit of damage to Smurfette. Now her just trying done, but Ash,
enough. And so far up right now.
They're just ahead of the curve here. Again, Mimi taking that early engagement, just managing to catch out Julius there. And with that killjoy going down, suddenly your C-side looks so much more vulnerable. But what a white peak coming out of Lyda. The player with the hero vandal just able to do the damage and find Mimi there. So that's an operator that can be retrieved by one of the members of FUT if they're so inclined. Smurfette on the opposite side, looking for a bit of value, finds that first headshot, but not quite able to dash away to safety as Roxy takes her down. G2, they managed to keep the numbers even here, and they still have that lockdown on Roxy.
Another A post plant. Big strong suit. Dati's just looking to spam.
Ooh, she gets the kill as well, but again, Roxy just able to find that trade here. Now, there's no real tool for the G2 players to watch for the flank here. So both of them, they're going to have to play on site, try to keep up this crossfire and use the utility. Lockdown comes out of Roxy at the very least, so they know exactly where the killjoy is. FUT, though, they still have to advance forward, and the clock is ticking. Paranoia comes through from Glance to try and get these fights in their favor, but Lyda still finds that one and takes down the lockdown to boot. But that is just Glance in a 1v2 right now. Has to somehow deal with these fights. At least has a dark cover to try and play around here. Finds the wraparound in this ring of Rosie. She comes out on top in positioning, but not... Now it's going to be the Tortiverse coming out of Mimi. A worthy contender to the operator on Smurfette, but the one-way lets her play around, and she's able to find that first kill. Gets a little bit too far ahead of herself, though, and Mimi finds the punish there. Glance using from the shadows, going all the way to the spawn here of these defenders towards the back of C, looking for a couple of kills, but FUT, they're not really moving around much, Ash, so it's going to be a bit difficult for her.
They also know, we saw initially that Julius was watching towards spawn, but re-clear out towards B main actually grants Glance so much space.
Lyda now, that first point of contact, able to find that opener onto Petra, and will be able to maybe stall a bit with that paranoia, but the lurk from Glance, it finds Julius before being shut down. Still Lyda. Still have their complete kit available, in particular those flashes coming out of Dati, as well as that stun, already having used one though. The concussion is going to be immaculate, and that's going to let Lyda find the kill. Now it's just Mimi in a 1v3, gets that first kill, manages to get away. The time is ticking though, and she finds that one time. It seems like Mimi... It's gonna make a huge difference. Petra, though, picks up the Seekers off the back of that alt orb, and now G2 once again, they look to go for this A side foot. They've struggled historically, not just holding it, but also retaking it against how G2 like to play on this map, and with the Rolling Thunder, it's gonna be that major point of contention here as that spike goes down.
Yeah, so much site control here for G2, but actually electing to give up backside, knowing that that Rolling Thunder is available here. So it'll just be two players. Glance and Sarah should be caught in fray.
Smurfette finds an opener thanks to that operator, and on site the concussion hits, but it's just going to be taking a little bit too much time. Ness, though, able to find the kills along with Lyda. It's just going to be Glance and Sarah to try and strike back here. Smurfette, though, takes down Sarah. They have to try and win this pistol. It's going to be very, very essential for them. Sarah going on a little bit of an adventure here. Solo will be shut down by Smurfette, and despite the paranoia, the stuns that come through, even the Trailblazer from Petra, it will be enough to push these players off the angle, but not enough for G2 to find a kill.
Farming this orb here for Ness. Priority into the Hunter's Fury, which is interesting. I would have expected maybe Dati to be the one to pick that up for the Rolling Thunder. A little bit more impact, especially on the attacking half here on Lotus, but maybe looking more for that post-plant possibility here, 4 foot. Mimi so far up. No TP out.
That might prove to be the difference maker here. Still, though, gonna be taken down. Like you mentioned, no chance to rendezvous away to safety, and Ness will find the punish there. Just really, really careful approach coming out of foot here as they get that spike down. Now, it's going to be a 3v5. The Recon finds the timing onto Glance as well, and Smurfette will find that immediate punish. Just 2 players left alive in this attempt at a retake coming out of G2, and there's not really telling how much more they can do, especially with how disparate this post plant is out of foot. Ness with the off angle takes down Petra, and now it's just Roxy in a 1v5. Does have her turret at least to try and buy a little bit of space, but she's gonna have to take these first confrontations head to head. Finds 2 kills to start with, 3 bullets left in the chain. Well, while we wait for Sarah to get her dues, it's gonna be Mimi looking for a little bit of action towards that B main area, but Smurfette with that hero rifle, that FPX by paying off huge as G2's one of their star players, for lack of a better phrase, just goes down right off the bat. 5-9 still, and in this bonus round, suddenly FUT, they're armed with the advantage, looking for a repeat of what G2 did to them on their attacking half. They take the side, and they take so much control on it as well, because look at the positioning being held by these individuals. Oh, the blink.
Yeah, that's a rough one to think about. Smurfette has a hold here on that broken door as well. Just a little bit of a chicken playing chicken, I should say, with Roxy, and Roxy's gonna come out on top.
Ness at least able to find one. Lyda still on site. Gonna be surrounded though, and now it's just going to be Dati trying to close out this 1v2. Roxy spots out her position, and the spike, it's not exactly gonna be planted for her. She has to aim ready to go. Smurfette will go in, but that nanoswarm, it's gonna leave her vulnerable. The paranoia connects as well, and Glance, she might be able to find a huge opener. Lyda though, TP's in, acts as a distraction. Roxy only able to find one before she goes down, and Petra, she's just gonna wait to regroup with her teammate.
That's the thing that Lyda does so well. If Smurfette's not getting the picks, she is going to get them in return for this squad here on foot. But a more solid post plant this time around, largely playing over towards Mound, re-clearing that flank early on. G2 looking to retake.
2 different points that they try to converge on. Again, it's just going to be one player kind of on site here. So Lyda might be able to get isolated, but Sarah not able to quite connect the kills. Now, once again, FUT, they found success on the C side before. G2, they've adapted a little bit, gone for a little bit of a stack thanks to this eco round that they're stuck in. Have multiple players on site, and despite that early usage of that drone, it just seems to be a cut noise, kind of wait and surprise to jump in play coming out of FUT's side. Still gotta be some control utility on the particular side. Smurfette going forward, but Sarah with the ghost finds the double dink. Position known, but now her team is there for the backup at FUT. They have no way to trade over
towards this A side. Paranoia out, but vision denied by Petra.
Playing up close in the smoke with the classic in hand, just staying alive here. It's so much value coming out. She in fact pushes out and able to find that kill. Oh my god, the Hunter's Fury pulled out at the worst time. Ness able to stop it and take down Petra, but the damage with these pistols, it's already being done by G2. They have that defender lockdown as well to push the remainder of FUT off site. They're just trying to play the crossfire in the time. Sarah though with the Vandal spots out this first player, has the positioning, finds the kill, and now it's just down to Ness here. A 1v4 looking to possibly find a kill. She has to be able to get get these openers here. But with both of G2's players inside this tree area, it's going to be quite difficult. Oh, that's a rare miss.
That was scary.
Now, though, both players get spotted out. Rolling Thunder comes in, and that's the value of the Sova here on this particular part of the map. Everything's paper thin, but the paranoia is perfect. Sarah at least finds a kill before being shut down. And now it's G2 still at a numerical disadvantage, forced to let that spike really go down. Shocknart's tagging up Glance just a little bit, but she still finds the timing to take down Lyda to bring this back to a 3v3.
Oh, and pushing into this drop control too. Glance just going to take her out. Now equalized and separated.
Oh, Julius though able to find that first kill at least. Ness gets another, and now it's a 1v1. Julius knows where her counterpart is and vice versa. No smokes left there. There's going to be one coming back online, and the spike isn't exactly planted for her, but it's still a wall-bangable position. Glance does tap that first one to use it in any of those rounds. Mimi with that operator still holding strong. When you have a flash shooter, you got to use it, otherwise Mimi will just take you down. Petra on the hunt as well. Finds Julius, just tracks her down and nails her. With that, it's just going to be 3 players left for this FUT side. They look to go towards C instead. Roxy with the Odin, your favorite gun dash, looking for a little bit of action. And she just has the angle, takes down Ness. And it seems like the second map, like you mentioned, might be done and dusted. Just Dati and Lyda left right now. And it's going to be the bait and switch play. Map, and while there is some utility available on site from the side of FUT, it doesn't seem to be too much stalling potential. Though this crossfire out of Smurfette and Lyda, it's certainly putting a bit of a pause to their plans. Flash in hand for Petra, waiting for the smoke to go in. Dash not quite activated yet for Sarah, though now it is. She dashes into her own smoke, but the flash, it connects with her own teammate, and Smurfette fully ready to find that kill. The crossfire that we talked about, just ready to kill. It's chiming in across that FUT side, and now...
But you do have that toxic screen that once it does come up, that angle gets cut off, and G2 have full front sight control right now. Still a star here for Julius to help with that delay at the very least.
Execute comes on in. Sarah dashing forward. The flash perfect this time out of Petra, but the spam from Julius, it still takes her down. That's a huge kill to start off with on the G2 side, and a rifle that could very well be retrieved as well. Though utility spamming in FUT, really giving G2 no chance to set up for post plan, but in their haste, Petra able to capitalize and find another kill. Still though, numbers, they remain until Glance takes down a player, bringing things back down to a 3v3. Reckoning gonna be online off the back of that. Huge ultimate, gonna make it so much more difficult for these weapons to really get used by the FUT side. They have to power forward though. The clock is ticking, and G2, they're just ready for this post-plan kind of situation. You do see the fragments and the flashes come out, but G2, they're just so disciplined here. The first point of contact, Glance, she goes down, but Mimi trades out both of them. It's just gonna be a 1v1 right now. Smurfette on the hunt here. G2 going for the split here on the A side. Finally, the harbor wall coming through. First point of contact. Julius, oh my god, she gets the spray down and finds both of the kills here. Lyda as well anchoring towards his backside. Still has all your killjoy utility on site, and with that 0 point coming in, they know exactly where another player from G2 is present. Now Roxy on the lurk here. Looking at the positioning out of FUT though. Yeah, that's...
And continue to allow you to have that cover to scale up.
G2, they're trying their best to do it. They are going to be having a buy for this round. Seekers coming in from Petra. The C's though going to be impeccable, preventing Sarah from really getting too far here. Also being made vulnerable by the alarm bot. Luckily, the spam hasn't quite connected for this FUT side. Lyda though already looking to get a little bit aggressive here. Try and deny the push through, but Sarah more than ready for it now. Will find that first opener. Petra with the second to follow up, and the lockdown to boot. So the clock is going to be ticking for these FUT players on site. Ness only able to find that first kill before she's shut down, and these two remaining players, they're forced to respect this lockdown. G2, they have the numbers advantage. They have good post-plan positioning, and there's just so much utility that FUT have to deal with now.
Yeah, no cover really. There's only one cloud burst left, and Smurfette has to find something early, but of course G2, they know better than to peek.
Ooh, Smurfette though able to at least find that first kill onto Glance. And after that, expect her lurk, that her being that extra body on site can just do a little bit more here. Now that Trailblazer, it already catches out the positioning of Smurfette, but Sarah, she's going to be able to take that space. It's going to be the Reckoning to come into play as well, but despite that, right, on the site, Julius and Lyda, they're both just able to hold for so long. Lyda finally being taken down, but the damage, it's been done for this G2 side. 3 players gone.
I don't know if anyone even actually saw anybody that they killed in this round so far, to be honest. Like, there were smokes for days going on. Roxy secures this plant 1 away from the Viper's pit as well.
They know exactly where she is, though, thanks to that haunt that came out. Now, Sarah, she's going to have to do a lot of this heavy lifting by Roxy, at least able to reposition thanks to the wall. Able to find those first 2 kills. The third as well, Roxy on track for the clutch, but has to reload the cascade. But she doesn't get spotted by that guiding light, though, so she's still going to be able to hold down a positioning on site. Oh, but Petra forcing her out of that angle with that Trailblazer. The Blade Storm coming out for both of these jets here. Viper's Pit going to be put into play as well. And you see Smurfette kind of trying to go around the corner. Petra, though, ready for that awareness, will be able to find a kill. And this time, when you see the push coming through on site, Roxy just waiting that Bastion to deny that from coming in. Ness, though, takes down that Viper's Pit with that crucial kill. And suddenly, despite that numbers disparity, there might still be a chance for FUT if they can clear out these 2 towards the backside. As I see that, though, Sarah, huge shot there with the Blade Storm, finds that first kill. And it's just going to be Ness, a 1v4 this time around. Has the Nightfall, but with the clock ticking, it might be better for her just to say maybe she can pick up that operator, maybe a couple of kills here, takes down Petra at the very least, but that might be that.
Up and Sarah's not even gonna go for it.
Ness is aware of that. She's just watching that angle like a hawk, finally falling off it though, so these timings are going to be crucial. G2 down, heading into side. Lyda though, in that corner, able to find that first opener. Roxy takes her down, so that's going to be no more lockdown available for this retake here. Still though, with 20 seconds left, G2, they have to go in for this B-side hit. Mimi's Lurk finally looking to pay dividends, but Ness, she finds the timing and she takes her down. 3 remaining players, they look to get that spike down, but Julius and Ness, they just push through on utility coming out of FUT. It pushes them so far back. Still though, Sarah going into the doors here, gonna be caught by the flash and the fragments. She just gets ripped apart, and Dati has the null command off the back of that. Oh, Roxy.
What a clear. That was so clean coming out from Roxy, but a full rotation here in Art, and Smurfette's waiting.
Smurfette's waiting, and Smurfette does not miss a second to boot, and that's going to give her control of the spike here. G2, they have a couple players remaining, but both of them, they're so far away. They have to come back towards this A side. Petra in particular, on this lurk, she finds 2 huge kills. That will give her the Seekers, and that suddenly this round, it looks much, much more viable for the side of G2. Smurfette's position smoked out thanks to the Seekers, and she misses that shot, unfortunately. Gotta be vulnerable, still swings out, and she takes down Petra. Now it's just going to be a 1v2 that Roxy somehow has to close out. No Viper's Pit online. She knows where they are though. Oh my god. That was just a nasty shot coming out of Roxy. Takes down Smurfette, and now it's a 1v1. She
Pivot now over towards B.
Dati in the corner, position smoked out. She's gonna have to be very careful about how she takes these fights, and Glance just playing that anti-flash, more than ready for it, is able to take it away. Now Lyda, forced to use that lockdown, is able to at least isolate that first steal, gets a second one as well, and Sarah taken down here. Lockdown still going though, and that's gonna force the detain into Glance. Just gonna be stuck in position. Lyda on a track for the ace right now. 3 kills already on the round. Spike at least has gone down. Petra on the lurk here finds Julius, so still going to be a 3v2 here. That Cosmic Divide is also gonna be taken offline, but Lyda on fire this round. Finds Mimi, Sarah, Glance, both of them playing towards this particular angle. Glance finds a crucial opener here, the headshot there, but Sarah ready for a little bit more. Still gonna be a 2-for-2 trade as Dati with the Sheriff, Lyda with the Sheriff finds a huge kill on Sarah. 3v3 now. FUT, they're advancing on this A side. Smokes go down, but there's still a player towards that back ready to play spoil sport.
Yeah, Petra's waiting. Heard some of those audio cues, and I like this quiet contact up towards Art to re-clear. That also means that Lyda is exposed and alone here with the spike.
The smoke's run out as well, so they're going to have to do everything here on site by contact. Haunt, though, comes out to force at least Petra in that position if she was there. It's going to be a full 3-on-3 retake right now with that spike going down, and FUT, they try to set up a post-plant position. Lyda not feeling safe enough to really reposition here. Roxy, though, finds a crucial timing, takes out Julius, but this reposition from Ness, it might catch her out. This 1v1 might decide the fate of the round, and Roxy, she finally goes down, does the damage though, so Lyda with the Sheriff might be able to do something, but she misses the shot that Petra able to fully capitalize here. A little bit of misses. Rio really materializing, the one that Tom predicted here. Glance, that first point of contact, takes quite a bit of damage, but she plays bait perfectly.
Try and deny that Hall's presence from you, but it just buys her a little bit more time when she is anchoring solo.
They're ready though. Finally, that fragment gonna force her out of that angle. G2, they still hold the advantage, so it's likely that we'll see a bit of a push coming out of this FUT side towards them to try and capitalize, especially when the plant is gonna be in such a close angle here. They have to fight on this particular side, and G2, they're just trying to buy as much stall utility as possible. A beautiful molly from Roxy though. That's gonna set them up for success. 15 seconds left. They have to go in for the plant. Numbers still on G2's side. with a player advantage, and with 10 seconds left, they have to commit. G2, they know about that. Ness finding a kill onto Mimi, but has to reload at the worst time, and Petra ready to capitalize. Roxy is... Sarah now holding this off angle on this elevated position, looking for that first point of contact. Spots out Smurfette, not able to get that kill at first, but still, Smurfette pushes the issue and she pays heavily. Oh no.
Shut down early too. Smurfette is just such a big part of the exit plays coming out from FUT. Having her not online puts you in a tough position. Not the same explosiveness you can play with.
Still, though, two players they have to deal with, and Glance once again just finds the timing. She and Sarah, they're decimating this FUT squad. Petra puts out the Seekers as well to track down the last...
Depending on up for those angles once they drop.
Well, Smurfette finally drops the body here, finds the better of Sarah on this push, and looking for a little bit more here as she goes up. Prowler gonna smoke out the position of Glance, and Lyda quick to capitalize on the kill. They still have to deal with Mimi though. They didn't know about her operator until now, and she takes full advantage to find a kill. Still, despite the presence of the ult here, Mimi still holding her ground, has the lockdown as well, but finally Smurfette takes over, and just like that, but they finally find a successful execute with a numbers advantage.
Smurfette's got the op now. Both players on the flank.
Smurfette with it off. She don't miss, and she finds a kill onto Petra. Just gotta be Roxy now. 1v3 to clutch out. She knows the position of one. Not sure if the rest. She'll still though able to take out Lyda. Now just has to isolate these fights. Pushes forward from Mimi that last round, forcing these early cascades out. Still though gonna be an
easier 4 foot in the blast. They're just looking to crunch towards sight now. 30 seconds left.
Knockcommand gonna be active, letting them to scale up here. Lyda able to find that second kill on the round. Still Petra towards his backside. She's playing spoils for trying to find the damage and the kills, and she finds the timing. Takes out Lyda. Huge there. Gonna be bringing it back down to a 3v3, but Mimi, she still has this lockdown. That's still gonna be a huge factor here. Ness takes out Sarah though. That's gonna be the operator offline for the rest of this round. And now Petra and Mimi, they're in a 2v3. They have the lockdown, but it might not matter for much. It's just Mimi versus the world here. Has to smoke out these players and can't even take they can really do to clear her out.
No, G2 have so much info. You got that Viper's Pit from Roxy on A as well. It's only mid that FUT can play for.
And they play for it all right. Petra already able to find that opener. Additional pressure being created by Glance, and Sarah on the corner there. Swings out, finds the timing. Only gets one though. Julius finally taking her out, but the damage, it's been done here, Ash. Just two players remain for this FUT side as they try to go for the execute once again.
G2 largely fall off B. It's only going to be Glance here in towards back hall. Another cascade up just to stall. We've already got Julius pushed through.
Yeah, she might have found the timing here, but she does get checked. Petra being taken down gives out her position. Glance able to find the trade. Now it's just Ness, a 1v3. We've seen her in these positions before, being able to close it out, but she has to be...
I'm gonna keep my gun. Actual ramps with it.
Oh, she looks for a repeat this time around though, and Smurfette, they're more than ready for it. You can see the adaptation coming out of FUT side. They put in a haunt to make sure it clears that corner. Smurfette finds that opener, and the rounds that FUT have been able to find an opener on, and the course of this half at least, they found way more success on. Now the lockdown coming in as well to establish side control.
Yeah, Cosmic Divide probably getting procced as well for closer to when the lockdown does pop. It does come through, and FUT should have a free site.
There's a corner though, not covered by the lockdown, so there's still gonna be Glance towards his backside. Only finds one though. Lyda finally taking her down, and with the Seekers, you do see the push attempt coming out of Petra. She finds a kill there, and Smurfette, who gets a little bit too far ahead of her team, will once again be taken down. The rest of G2, they still have to make this retake work out though. They don't really have any ults to work with, and the flank is there from Roxy as well. She might be able to find the timing here. No real utility to stop her, but oh my god, that's just a nasty time to check your backstab, and she finds it perfectly. Mimi and Petra, they've been together since the beginning. Looking for a little bit more here. Mimi in a 1v2, just too much on that B site for the last of these couple of rounds. But now A is that point of contact. They pick up that orb, get the Nightfall, and they push forward off the back of that, really just catching Petra. They know where she likes to play. Roxy tries to come in for the trade here, but again, that Prowler is going to give Smurfette that buffer that she needs to push forward and get that second kill to boot. Once again, the post plant coming out of FUT, it's going to be almost immaculate because they also have some utility of their own for really stalling out.
Yeah, but look at the money right now. G2 don't feel like match point here within
Now, though, it's going to be the Jet versus Jet contact fight, and Smurfette wins it out. The Blaze Storm just not having the angle for that particular fight here. Once again, it's going to be Petra towards his backside. Does quite a bit of damage here to Smurfette, but not able to confirm the kill. Glance, though, able to bounce in with one of her own. Now, FUT, they're under pressure to get that spike down as the rest of G2, they congregate around this backside. They're going in for the United retake here. No ultimates to work with for their side, unfortunately.
No, but you do have a Trailblazer and a Guiding Light here for Petra.
Going to be used as well. Haunt immediately broken, not going to find any information. You do see Ness get spotted out towards side here. Mimi trying to cut her off from that rotation, but not quite looking in the right angle. Ness able to find that kill, still on site, a second as well. And now just 2 G2 players remain to try and keep this from going into that end. But Ness, she's there, she's the beginning, she's the end, and now just Glance remains a 1v4 to keep this from going to that map number 4, and with that clock ticking out, there's just no chance. The last thing she wants is to take down Glance at the very least. She finds the first 2 kills, but Smurfette, she'll passed into the round, and it seems like that's where they do want to commit the spike as well. Flash finally comes out, doesn't catch out Julius, was playing anti-flash, but Sarah still able to find the frag here. A little bit too late of a reaction coming out of Julius there, and just like that, G2, despite getting the site, they just fake the plant and they look to rotate again.
Kind of bait out any information if possible. Looking for a creep up in towards garage. Turret will be taken down and information given here, but you got 2 players backside per foot.
Yeah, they haven't moved a muscle since this round started. Of course, Sarah, the one to dash in, find that first opening, fade away. 3 on the round already for her. I believe our panel was talking about how she had a little bit of a quiet game the last time around here, but she looks like she wants to make up for it in spades right now. Smurfette at least able to find a trade, but still numbers in favor of G2, and Sarah, she's still hungry here, has a dash, doesn't quite get a chance to use it, and now it's a 2v2. The remaining players, they look to go back for that post plan. Mimi already having used the mollies here. They're gonna have to just try to somehow take these duels head to head. Petra still has a guiding light in hand though, will connect the flash, catch them out, and find the kill. Their sights towards B instead. 2 players around the corner. Petra, that first point of contact, using that Trailblazer to cash out the Killjoy. They know exactly where she is, but Ness still finds the kills here. Mimi and Glance, though, between them, they're able to take down both players, and that's gonna open up side for G2. This is a very good bonus so far.
Extremely strong. And FUT, they continue to go for this A main aggression, taking a lobby late on that flank for the retake.
They're taking their sweet time about it, and that might be something that they might really pay for. Mimi as well, finding another kill onto Lyda, onto Smurfette as well. She's just hanging around, and her awareness is almost impeccable. A wallbang kill to boot here, Ash, and Julius, the only one remaining, a 1v4. She might just want to save here.
Yeah, not too much you can do here. You got full shield, you got your rifle, just carry it on over, but Sarah's not even going to let it happen. And the read is good. This could be spiked down.
That smoke doesn't come out before Roxy peaks. It's going to be really bad for G2. You can just see them waiting for the timing, though. Sarah, again, that first point to try and dash in. Smurfette gets spotted out as well, so it's just going to be the player on side. Lyda caught in the open here. No backup, and Sarah quick to capitalize on it. Spike goes down, 4v4 situation, but this Viper's Pit coming out of G2, it's going to make things so much more difficult. Sarah finding the timing as well to take down Smurfette, who tries to get an elevated angle, not working out in her favor though. And just like that, G2, they have the sight, they have the Viper's Pit, they have the numbers advantage, and there's no real way for FUT to take these fights except for contact with Sarah. Even on 30 HP, she just doesn't miss, and that's the save call.
Yeah, you can't. You're going to try and reclaim the operator here if you're Dati and try and take that back, allow Smurfette to be that raid boss again. But G2 are just going to be hot on her heels. They're not going to let this operator get carried over. And I think one way. But Smurfette, she's back in short.
Oh no, that's gonna be a miss that will haunt her for at least a couple of rounds going from now, because Roxy just runs her down, not ready for that white swing, really. Immaculate paranoia as well from Glance to cut off that CT angle here. And just like that, G2, once again, they just have this A side completely for free. On this retake, again, they have the Rolling Thunder available, but look at how G2 are playing. They're just ready to back up the players on site.
They know that they have to play off site, but actually get caught in the fray here in short. Sarah's...
Yeah, that... the paranoia gonna be there. So off the back of that, Ness at least able to take down both Sarah and Glance here, the ones on site. Now 3 players left for G2. You see the chain flashes coming out of Sarah, coming out of Petra. The second one's a fake though. Ness on fire. You're here to find those kills and the spray down from roxi. They do fight this time around, but Smurfette, she's still able to get it and get in positioning. Hunter's Fury to try and clear out this angle here. Maybe let Smurfette find some value, and off the back of the utility, they do indeed. The Aftershock gonna clear out Glance while she's trying to get down those smokes, and G2, they look to pivot quickly onto the C side. Still gonna be that Killjoy presence in utility though. Ness kind of playing spoils for it here. Will be forced to fall back. The paranoia will keep her alive, and she still has the lockdown.
The queen of delaying. But that was a really nice set play coming out from FUT to take down those initial 2 players. Petra trying to grasp garage control now. Near full util to use.
Such a dangerous angle she's holding. Lockdown gonna be invested as well, but the flash is perfect, and Smurfette just set up for success on these kills. Mimi and Petra, though, they're still fighting and kicking around, able to find these kills, and suddenly it's a 1v2 here. Julius gets taken down. I don't know if she's aware of Petra's positioning. She is, and
in garage and in B, and they adjust accordingly, right? They play more towards those links, not actually playing dedicated on site here on B or on A.
You see the cheeky attempt at a wallbang coming through from Lyda after that tag. Unfortunately, double wall payment isn't as thin as a sense, so it's not going to be working out. And G2, they look to go back towards this B side. Smurfette, just the only player here really watching the cross. Does have the angle though, so this might be a bit of a difference maker. G2 look to go towards A instead now. roxi only gonna be the one. They're gonna be the only one on lurk, and this A side, it's being prepped for a retake because of that lockdown.
Yep, only the turret to watch, and that's just gonna be laid down to buy so much time right now. Ness's only job is to delay this plant. Mimi's gonna secure it regardless, but then G2, they're forced to hightail it out. Many of these players actually have the potential to even get caught inside.
They take the lockdown out with the lineup. Smurfette tries to go for the stick here, but in that Viper's pit, there's just no chance of it. The sprays come through roxi and Mimi between them, just playing absolute spoils for it. And once again, this off angle here, that first point of contact, but she has 4 players waiting for her on the other side, able to play off the turret, finds 2. Sarah still shuts her down, but that's just so much value. And just like that, there's still a second player on site. Ness able to capitalize off the back of her utility. It plays distraction, and she finds these kills between Ness and Lyda. Might be all that FUT need to close it out. And now aggression on that C side, like you mentioned, but G2, like you mentioned, right, Ash? They're just so ready for it. Mimi waiting for that kind of flash dash play to come out. They've seen it before. They've prepped for it, and they find full satisfaction as they take down Smurfette. Still, though, that Hunter's Fury, Lyda's still alive.
Yeah, could be a difference maker depending on when that spike manages to get situated. But Dati's just looking to re-walk down, and she finds fun for her trouble. A little trade to come through. But no more solo plays. Julius sees another. Gonna have to reposition here. At the very least, has the From the Shadows if need be.
With that off angle on that elevated surface, able to take down Petra there, so at least bringing the numbers back into an even situation. And with that smoke coming down, G2, they look to pivot again towards another part of the map. Once again, A is kind of left empty here, but Julius, aware of that, will be TPing out, at least checking it. And G2, they have their eyes on garage.
Yeah, she's gonna creep on through. Lyda has all of her util available, but she doesn't want to give away her positioning. Julius is just trying to bait that jump peek for her.
30 seconds left.
Lyda's positioning could be so pivotal here. Julius, especially with her getting caught out. Lyda, they're gonna opt to just come back around, use that Hunter's Fury while Julius cooks alive. Caught by the vulnerability. Mimi just cleans her up with 1 bullet, though at least Lyda with the Hunter's Fury able to find a kill here. The only problem is that roxi, she'll have the lockdown after getting that particular kill, so there's no more deterrence available for this particular ultimate.
Can be wallbang though if they find that logs control. They're not gonna find that logs control.
Nope. Tree here. Attacking is where this team really excels, especially when you're running that double initiator. Sarah, though, she's been insane this game, not able to hit that first shot. Will be forced to fall back, and G2, they're in a bit of an awkward retake situation. Once again, Petra's flash, it hits everybody, and it's just gonna be a 1-for-1 trade. Still, though, on this backside, G2, they chime in, doing as much damage as possible, and they're just fighting for dear life here.
How far they can go.
Oh yeah, there's still loads of room for development for the squad. Sarah, though, Sarah shreds. She finds another kill on the Smurfette, finding that opener. Does get shut down a little bit afterwards, but nevertheless, at least gets G2 the information that, hey guys, A-side, that's that point of contention. Still gonna be a bonus round for G2, so only Petra armed with that hero, or rather that Bulldog that she saved from that last round. They do get the plant down foot, and they settle into their post plant here.
Yeah, comfortable hell positioning here for Dati. Great stall potential from this defender Safan push. Petra finds her though.
Really nice information coming in. They know where at least two of these players are towards hell. Ness, though, able to swing out at the first perfect timing and find that crucial kill. Petra swings under, takes down Dati, but the trades are immediate. Utility, and that's exactly what FUT are doing. Opting instead to go onto these sites that they struggle more against, but Smurfette, right, she just walks up into garage. She has positioning for free, and she's gonna hear these jump peaks coming out of Glance as well. But they get finally ready to execute towards the side, but Petra, she has the read here. Doesn't quite check it though, so Smurfette still goes and challenge towards this power position on site. Sarah falling to boot. Petra finds the trade though, so it's still gonna be Glance in the corner, tucked away. Glance for two. Now just two players left alive. Julius at least takes down Glance, but with 13 seconds left, there has to be Spike going down soon. It has to be on the C side as well. Julius forced to fight with the rest of the team. She has to stick it. It's just going to be Ness trying to deny it. And in this 2v2, she'll get the spike down.
Oh, a retake impending here. These two players have been online.
Oh no, and they're taken offline as quickly as we make that statement. G2, a very, very successful retake here, and an incredibly successful series for them as well. 13-3. That's going to be map number 3. Just a bit of a stomp here coming through, and G2, they are your Series 2 champions. Let's go.